As she sat watching the world go by, something caught her eye. It wasn't so much its color or shape, but the way it was moving. She squinted to see if she could better understand what it was and where it was going, but it didn't help. As she continued to stare into the distance, she didn't understand why this uneasiness was building inside her body. Cutting ties is necessary for growth, and it's okay to do it. You don't have to carry anyone else's baggage. It's time to prioritize yourself, your dreams, and your future. Understanding silence as a tool for power. We live in a world that is louder than ever. Everywhere we go, there's noise, people talking, shouting, arguing, advertising. Everything demands our attention. But let me ask you this. When was the last time you took a moment to simply be silent? To listen, to reflect, to gather yourself and harness that silence as your strength. The truth is, silence isn't weakness, it's power. And here's why. Silence is often misunderstood. It's so easy to fall into the trap of believing that the more you talk, the more powerful you are. We live in a society that rewards loudness, that celebrates the outspoken, the extroverted. But if you're one of those people who stays quiet, who prefers to observe rather than speak, you need to realize something important. Silence doesn't make you weak. It makes you strategic. Think about this. When everyone around you is talking, what do? Do you rush to join the noise? Do you try to make your voice heard even louder than the rest? Or do you step back and use silence to gain an edge? See, in the stillness, there's clarity, there's space to think, to process, and to observe. Most people are too busy talking to see the opportunities right in front of them. But you, when you embrace silence, can learn, grow, and act with purpose. The person who speaks the least often has the most to say, but they don't say it in empty words. They say it in their actions, their decisions, and their results. The truth is, in a world that is filled with noise, silence speaks louder than words ever could. And that's where the power lies. When you remain silent, you're not just staying quiet for the sake of it. You're gathering information, you're preparing, you're positioning yourself for the right moment. Why silence is not weakness, it's strategic. In a world where everyone is screaming for attention, silence can feel like an anomaly. People will tell you that if you're not constantly talking, you're invisible, you're weak. But let me tell you something right now. Silence is a weapon. It's the quiet before the storm, the calm before the action. It's the strategic pause that gives you the power to decide how you will move next. Think about the most powerful leaders in history. Were they the loudest? No, they were often the quietest. The ones who listened more than they spoke. They understood that true strength doesn't come from noise, it comes from the ability to remain calm, to observe, and to act with precision when the time is right. Silence allows you to be fully present. It gives you the ability to read the room, to understand the subtleties of situations, and to notice what others overlook. In the silence, you can see what others can't. And it's that awareness that sets you apart. When you learn to embrace silence, you give yourself the gift of focus. You remove the distractions. In that space, you become a student of life, listening to the world with intent, learning not just from what's said, but from what's not said. It's a rare skill, one that most people never take the time to develop. How silence helps you see what others can't. Do you ever feel like the world is moving too fast? Like everyone is racing towards something, but no one is really paying attention to the details? The truth is, when you're constantly talking, you miss the subtleties. You miss the shifts, you miss the movements that happen beneath the surface. But in silence, you begin to see what others can't. It's like tuning into a frequency that only a few people can hear. In that space of stillness, the world becomes clearer. You start to see things from a new perspective, unfiltered, unclouded by the noise that surrounds you. Let's take a moment to think about successful people. Are they constantly talking about what they're going to do? No. They're usually the ones sitting quietly, observing, planning, and when they speak, it's with purpose, it's with knowledge. They've spent the time in silence, gathering the insights they need to make informed, powerful decisions. When everyone else is talking, you're using silence to your advantage. You're able to observe patterns, to notice what others miss, and to make decisions that are based on truth rather than assumptions. Silence gives you the edge that others simply don't have. While they're busy chasing approval or validation, you're focused on what truly matters, the opportunity, the right moment, the right decision. When to hold your tongue, knowing when to speak is just as important as knowing when to act. So often people rush to speak, to announce their plans, to tell the world what they're going to do. But here's the truth. Talk is cheap. Words are easy. It's the action that follows those words that truly matters. Think about it. How many people do you know who talk a big game but never actually follow through? How many people are constantly telling you about their next big move, yet nothing ever happens? You've seen it, we all have, but let me tell you this, the most successful people aren't the ones who are always talking. They're the ones who know when to hold their tongue, to wait for the right moment, and then when they speak with purpose. Action speaks louder than words, and the same goes for silence. You don't need to announce every move. You don't need to tell everyone about your next big decision. Instead, you gather your thoughts, you take the time to understand the situation, and then, when you're ready, you act decisively. The most powerful moves you make in life are often the ones you don't talk about first. They're the ones that come after careful consideration, the ones that come from a place of knowledge and understanding. And when those moves happen, they demand attention because they're not just words, they're results. Silence as a weapon. Now, let me share something with you. Silence is more than just the absence of sound. It's a weapon. It's the strategic pause that lets you gather your thoughts, gather your information, and make your next move with precision. When you remain silent, you're not retreating from the world. You're engaging with it on a deeper level. You're listening not just to words, but to what's unsaid, to the pauses in the conversation, to the subtleties in body language. You're picking up on things that most people miss. This is the power of silence. It gives you the ability to listen deeply. It's in this deep listening that you uncover truths, understand motivations, and gain insights that others simply won't see coming. People may think they know what you're up to. They may think they can predict your next move, but when you've spent time in silence, when you've done the work of listening, you have the advantage. And when you do speak, when you do act, you do so with the weight of everything you've learned. You speak with conviction. You act with confidence because you've spent the time in silence, gathering everything you need to move forward with purpose. Water them with their doubt or their fear. That seed might wither before it even gets a chance to sprout. I'm not telling you to be selfish. I'm not saying you should shut people out of your life. What I'm saying is that you have to protect your energy. You have to be selective about who gets a front row seat to your vision. You are in the business of building something great, something that will take time, effort, and unwavering belief. You can't afford to let anyone derail that process. So, who deserves to hear your dreams? The answer is simple. Those who will feed your vision, not deplete it. Those who will believe in you when you're doubting yourself. Those who will encourage you when you feel like quitting. They're the ones who deserve a seat in your life. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your life. Listen, your life is your story. It's your journey. You have a right to choose who plays a role in it. And I'm not talking about just your dreams here. I'm talking about your entire life. Who gets to be in your circle? Who gets to be in your presence, share your energy, and influence your decisions? Not everyone should have access to the most intimate parts of you, especially when you're building something that matters. Too many people get caught up in thinking they need to share everything with everyone. Every step, every thought, every goal. But here's the harsh reality. Some people are not equipped to handle your energy. They can't comprehend your ambitions, and they certainly can't support you in the way you need. This isn't about being harsh. It's about recognizing that you're worth more than just being another person's emotional dumping ground. Your energy is precious. You only have so much to give, and if you're spending it on people who drain you, there won't be enough left to give to yourself and your dreams. You have to guard your time, your thoughts, and your energy like the treasures they are. So ask yourself, who in your life is there to lift you up and who is just tagging along for the ride? Who deserves a front row seat? Who will stand by you even when the road gets tough? The people you allow in should be those who understand the importance of your mission. They should be those who inspire you, who help you grow, and who encourage you to push past your limits. Not everyone will be able to fill that role, but that's okay. Your circle should be small, but it should be powerful. The people who lift you versus the people who weigh you down. Now, let's dig into this. There are two types of people in your life, the ones who lift you up and the ones who weigh you down. And it's time for you to distinguish between the two because it will determine how far you go in this life. Who are the people who lift you up? These are the ones who believe in you even when you can't see it yourself. These are the ones who challenge you to be better, who push you outside of your comfort zone. They inspire you. They might not always agree with you, but they respect your vision. They might hold you accountable, but they do it with love. These are the people who celebrate your wins and help you recover from your losses. They breathe life into your dreams. They are the oxygen that fuels your fire. Then there are the energy drainers, the ones who pull you down. You know who they are. They gossip, complain, and question your every move. They look at you like you're crazy when you tell them about your vision. They tell you that you're too ambitious, too unrealistic. They make you second guess yourself and wonder if maybe they're right. But you have to ask yourself, do these people truly have your best interests at heart, or are they just reflecting their own fears and insecurities onto you? It's time to stop letting people like this occupy space in your mind and in your life. You can't afford to let their negativity infiltrate your thoughts. Every minute you spend around them is a minute you could be spending with people who encourage you to grow, who see the greatness in you, and who understand the power of your dreams. So ask yourself, are the people around you lifting you up, or are they weighing you down? It's time to make the hard decisions. You need to be around people who see you as more than just who you are today, but who you're becoming. The energy you surround yourself with will determine the pace and direction of your growth. The 3 questions that reveal who deserves to stay. You need a filter, an easy way to know who should stay in your life and who should go. You can't afford to keep people around who aren't pushing you forward, who aren't helping you grow. So ask yourself 3 simple questions about the people in your life. Do they inspire me? Inspiration is the fuel for progress. Without it, you're just coasting, stuck in the same place. You need people who inspire you to aim higher, work harder, and become more than you were yesterday. If the people around you aren't lighting that fire, if they're not helping you chase your goals with vigor and passion, then it's time to reconsider their place in your life. You deserve more than that. Do they believe in me? This one is critical. You need people who believe in you even when you can't see your own potential. When you feel like giving up, these are the people who remind you why you started. They lift you up, they support you, and they challenge you to keep going even when the road is tough. If you can't find anyone in your life who genuinely believes in you, then you're surrounding yourself with the wrong people. Do they challenge me to be better? Growth isn't about comfort. It's about being pushed to your limits, being stretched beyond what you thought was possible. The people who truly deserve to stay in your life are the ones who challenge you to be better, who push you outside your comfort zone, and who hold you accountable to your highest standards. They won't let you settle for mediocrity. They're the ones who help you see your potential when you can't. If the people around you don't answer yes to at least 2 of these questions, then it's time to make a change. Life is too short to waste time on people who don't make you better. Surround yourself with those who inspire, believe in, and challenge you. They are the ones who will help you rise to greatness. The invisible chains of negative influence, you may not realize it, but negative energy is everywhere. It's in the people around you, it's in the news, it's in the social media posts you scroll through every day. And you know what? It affects you more than you think. Negative influence isn't just about feeling down or discouraged, it's about how it affects your ability to think, your confidence, and your focus. It seeps into your mind and tightens its grip on you, often without you even realizing it. How often have you found yourself feeling drained, defeated, or questioning your worth after spending time with certain people? That's the effect of negativity. It's like invisible chains wrapping around you, holding you back from being your best self. It's easy to brush it off as just a bad mood or a rough day, but deep down, you know better. The people you surround yourself with influence you more than you realize. When you're constantly around negativity, it becomes harder to stay focused on your dreams. It becomes harder to believe in yourself to maintain the motivation to keep going. Take a long, hard look at the people in your life. Are they making you better, or are they keeping you stuck? If they're not contributing positively to your growth, it's time to cut the cord. Don't let invisible chains hold you back any longer. A flame needs oxygen. Who is fueling your fire? Your dreams are a flame. They start small, just a flicker of hope, but they have the potential to grow into something massive. But here's the catch. A flame needs oxygen. Without it, it will die out. And the oxygen for your dreams comes from the people around you. So ask yourself, who is fueling your fire? If you're surrounded by people who don't believe in your vision, who don't support you, who don't encourage your growth, then your flame will burn out. But when you have the right people around you, people who understand your dreams, who push you to be better, who believe in your vision, that flame becomes an inferno. It's unstoppable. Who is feeding your dreams right now? Are you surrounding yourself with people who fuel your fire? Or are you letting the wrong people smother it? If they don't believe in themselves, they'll never believe in you. Let's be clear, if someone doesn't believe in themselves, they will never believe in you. People who are insecure, who doubt their own worth, will project their limitations onto you. They will try to hold you back, pull you down, and make you second guess your decisions. And they'll do it without even realizing it. You can't afford to let people like this hold you back. If they don't believe in their own potential, they certainly won't believe in yours. And when you're working on something that requires unwavering belief in your vision, you need people around you who are strong enough to believe in themselves and your dreams. If someone is constantly questioning your every move, second-guessing your choices, or telling you to play it safe, it's time to distance yourself. If they don't believe in themselves, they will never believe in you. How to distance yourself without guilt? Cutting people out of your life is never easy. It feels uncomfortable. It feels selfish. But here's the truth. You have to protect your energy. You have to protect your vision. And that means you might have to distance yourself from people who are holding you back. Don't feel guilty about setting boundaries. You don't owe anyone your time or energy, especially if they're draining it. Be respectful, be kind, but be firm. Protect what's sacred. You're building something extraordinary, and you can't afford to let negativity and doubt drag you down. When you're caught in this trap, you start seeing every opportunity as a threat. Instead of taking bold action, you start playing defense. You worry about what others are doing, who's getting ahead of you, and you think, what if I miss out? Or worse, you question whether you're good enough to even try. These thoughts, these fears, they paralyze you. They stop you from seeing opportunities. Instead of taking risks, instead of moving forward with confidence, you hesitate. You sit on the sidelines watching others live their dreams and tell yourself that you can't because someone else already took the spot you were aiming for. But think about it. How many times have you stopped yourself from taking action simply because you were afraid of failure? How many brilliant ideas have stayed buried in your mind because you feared that someone else was already doing it better, or that the market was already saturated? You need to wake up and realize that everyone else is too busy dealing with their own insecurities and fears to be worried about yours. People aren't sitting around waiting for you to fail. They're too busy worrying about their own struggles. And guess what? That's exactly why you don't need to compete for success. You need to create your own. That's the key. You're not in competition with anyone. Stop looking over your shoulder at who's ahead. Start looking ahead at the massive, limitless opportunities waiting for you. Stop seeing life as a race with a fixed finish line and start seeing it as a journey with infinite possibilities. Shifting to abundance thinking. Here's where the magic happens. When you shift to abundance thinking, you stop seeing the world as a battlefield. You stop focusing on who's getting ahead of you, and you start focusing on what you can create. Let me give you an example. Think about the ocean. The ocean doesn't lose water when one wave rises. In fact, every new wave adds to the power and beauty of the ocean. One wave doesn't steal from the other, it complements it. This is what an abundance mindset does. It allows you to see the bigger picture, to realize that there is room for your dreams to exist alongside everyone else's. There is room for your unique vision. There's room for you to rise, to create, to succeed. Imagine your success like the waves of the ocean. It doesn't diminish when others rise. In fact, when you rise, you contribute to the entire tide, making the whole world around you more expansive, more powerful, more alive. And just like the ocean, there is no limit to how high you can rise. So the question is, how will you start embracing abundance? It starts by thinking differently. It starts by telling yourself, there's enough success for me. Start believing that the world is full of opportunities. There's more than enough space for your unique talents, your vision, your dreams. Now it's time to stop looking at what others are doing and start thinking about what you can create. The world isn't a zero-sum game. You don't have to take someone else's place. You can create your own place. The toxicity of competition mentality. Let's talk about competition for a moment. The world loves to tell you you've got to beat the competition. Society teaches you that success comes from competing against others. That's how we're raised. We're taught to measure our worth against the person next to us. But this mentality, it's toxic. Competition keeps you small. It keeps you focused on the actions of others rather than your own growth. When you think about success in terms of competition, you're bound to feel inadequate, like there's always someone better than you. And here's the problem. If you're only focused on competing, you're not focused on creating. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, didn't worry about the competition. He worried about creating something new. He didn't get caught up in fighting for the same piece of the pie. He made a whole new pie. He understood that his success wasn't about defeating others. It was about building something valuable, something unique, something that added to the collective rather than competing for what was already there. This is the difference between people who stay stuck and people who change the world. You don't have to beat others to succeed. You just have to create. So stop asking, how can I beat them? Instead, ask, what can I create that no one else has thought of? It's not about competing with others. It's about carving out your own path, building your own legacy, and contributing something new and valuable to the world. The power of focusing on your own lane. Why do we spend so much time comparing ourselves to others? It's because we've been conditioned to do so. Society tells us that success is a race and we need to keep up with everyone else. But let me tell you something. There is no race but your own. When you start focusing on your own lane, when you stop measuring your success by someone else's timeline, that's when the magic happens. You stop feeling like you're falling behind. You stop feeling like there's only one way to succeed. And most importantly, you stop feeling inadequate because you're not where others are. Focus on your own growth, your own journey. Success is not about being first. It's about staying in the game long enough to make an impact. And the only way to stay in the game is by focusing on your own progress, not by looking at who's ahead of you. If you keep comparing yourself to others, you're only going to slow yourself down. But if you focus on your own lane, if you commit to your own growth, you'll start seeing results that truly matter. You'll stop measuring your success by the actions of others and start measuring it by the progress you've made, by the person you're becoming. Taking action to break free from scarcity now. We've talked about scarcity thinking, abundance thinking, competition, and focusing on your own lane. But none of this means anything unless you take action. The first step to breaking free from scarcity thinking is adopting a new mantra. There's enough success for me. Say it out loud right now. There's enough success for me. Say it until you believe it. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but you need to program your mind to accept this truth. This is your first step toward breaking free. The second step is action. Start small, but start today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. The moment is now. Whether it's starting that business, launching that project, writing that book, whatever it is, take the first step today. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. The time is now. The third step is commitment. You have to commit to this new mindset, to this new way of thinking. Make it a daily practice. Feed your mind with positive affirmations. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, and consistently remind yourself that success is abundant. It's waiting for you to step into it. By shifting your mindset, by focusing on abundance instead of scarcity, you will begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. The world will open up to you in ways you never thought possible. Protecting your energy. Who deserves to hear your dreams? Let's get real for a moment. You have dreams, right? Big ones, ambitions that get your heart racing and your mind spinning with possibilities. But here's the truth. Not everyone around you deserves to hear those dreams. Why? Because your dreams are sacred. They're more than just wishes or fantasies. They are the blueprint for your future. They represent everything you are striving for, everything you are building, everything you will become. They are not to be shared casually with just anyone. Think about it. How often do we get caught up in sharing our vision with people who don't even understand the magnitude of what we're trying to create? You know the ones, the naysayers, the dream killers, the people who, maybe without even realizing it, plant seeds of doubt in our minds. You think you're sharing your excitement, but instead, you're handing them the power to inject their negativity into your heart. That's dangerous. Your dreams are like fragile seeds in the early stages of growth. They need to be nurtured carefully, given space and watered with positivity. What happens if you let the wrong... Here's the thing. Every great person, every successful individual in history had to walk a lonely road before the world understood them, before they were celebrated, before they had the validation they craved. It was only after they persisted, after they kept going despite all odds, that the world caught up to their vision. Think about Steve Jobs. He was fired from his own company, the very company he built, but that didn't stop him. Instead of letting failure define him, he used it to fuel his next chapter. Oprah Winfrey, she was told she wasn't fit for television, that she didn't have what it took to be a media mogul. But now, she's one of the most influential figures in the world. Elon Musk, ridiculed at every turn, doubted by almost everyone, still forged ahead and changed the world. These people did not wait for approval. They didn't wait for someone else to believe in them. They stood alone, not because they were isolated, but because they were fiercely committed to their dreams, even when the world didn't understand them. And let me tell you, that is the path to success. The road you're on, the one you've chosen, may be lonely at times. You may feel like nobody gets it, nobody sees your vision the way you do. But let me tell you something. The only way to make it, the only way to truly succeed is to believe in yourself before anyone else does. Every time someone laughs at your dream, use it as fuel. Every time someone tells you, that's impossible, let that be the spark that drives you. Because here's the truth, nobody sees your vision the way you do. They're not supposed to. It's your dream, not theirs. And so when people doubt you, when they tell you to be realistic, when they roll their eyes at your ideas, remember that their doubt isn't a reflection of your potential. It's a reflection of their own limitations. Don't let their inability to see your vision stop you from pursuing it. Your dream is worth fighting for, even if it means standing alone. You have to drown out the noise. You have to be so deeply committed to your vision that nothing, no words, no opinions, no laughter can shake you. Stop arguing. Start winning. How to prove doubters wrong without a word, the battle within. Let's start with a simple question. How many of you have ever shared a dream, a goal, or a vision with someone close to you, only to have it dismissed with a quick, that's unrealistic, you'll never make it, or worse, with silence? That pause where you can feel the doubt creeping in even though they haven't said a word. It doesn't matter who they are, family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers. The moment you decide to chase something that seems bigger than the ordinary, they'll find a way to make you second guess yourself. They'll plant seeds of doubt, and before you know it, those seeds will start to grow. You begin to wonder if you're crazy. You start to think, maybe they're right. Maybe your dream is too big, too crazy, too out there. Maybe you should just let it go. But here's the hard truth. Those people aren't the problem. The problem is your reaction to them. You see, this moment, this instant when doubt creeps in, this is when you have a choice to either listen to their negativity, fall into the trap of defending your dream and explaining yourself, or you can choose a different path, a path where you silence the doubters with results, with action, with results that speak louder than words ever could. Arguing with doubters is a waste of time. Why? Because when you argue, you're playing their game. You're allowing them to set the terms of the conversation, and in the end, they'll win. They'll exhaust you, drain your energy, and distract you from what really matters, taking action. You don't need to explain your dream to anyone. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your vision. What you need to do is stop arguing and start winning. What does winning look like? Winning is showing up every single day, not in defense of your dream, but in pursuit of it. Winning is action. Winning is execution. Winning is proving doubters wrong without saying a single word. So, why do we fall into the trap of defending our dreams? Why do we feel the need to explain ourselves to others who aren't even in the arena with us? Let's explore this, because understanding the problem is the first step toward fixing it. The desire for approval. From a young age, we're taught to seek approval. Whether it's from our parents, teachers, friends, or society at large, we're conditioned to seek validation from others. We want to hear, "Well done, I'm proud of you, you're on the right track." There's nothing inherently wrong with wanting approval, it's human nature. But when it comes to your dreams, seeking approval from others can be a major roadblock. You see, approval comes with conditions. People won't approve of your vision until it fits into their understanding of the world. People won't approve of your vision until it makes sense to them. But what if your dream doesn't fit neatly into their limited perspective? What if your dream challenges everything they believe to be true? If you spend your time defending your ideas to people who will never get it, you are giving them power over you. You are letting their approval or disapproval dictate your actions. And let me tell you something, this is a surefire way to keep yourself stuck. Here's what you need to understand. Your vision is yours and yours alone. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. You don't need anyone else's permission to pursue it. All you need is belief in yourself and the discipline to take consistent action. Think about it. How many times have you felt that urge to explain your dream to someone who just doesn't get it? They don't see the big picture. They don't feel the passion in your heart. They don't understand why you're chasing what seems like an impossible goal. You argue, you explain, you justify, and what happens? They don't get it. And the more you try to explain, the more frustrated you get. Because you can't explain passion. Passion is something you have to show. It's something you have to live. It's not a theory you can explain. It's something you have to embody. And guess what? The more you try to explain your dream to people who will never understand it, the more energy you waste. The silent power of action. Let me tell you a story. It's the story of Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, one of the largest and most successful e-commerce companies in the world. Jack Ma didn't have it easy. He faced rejection after rejection, ridicule and doubt from everyone, from friends, from colleagues, from investors. People told him he was wasting his time. They laughed at him. They told him the internet was a passing fad. They didn't believe in his vision, but Jack Ma didn't waste a single second of his time explaining himself. Jack Ma didn't argue. He didn't defend his dream. He built it. He went to work. He focused on execution. He showed up every day and did what needed to be done. And guess what happened? His results started to speak for themselves. The very people who doubted him couldn't ignore the success he was creating. He didn't have to explain why he believed Alibaba was going to change the world. His results made it undeniable. Now, I want you to think about your own life. What if you stopped defending yourself? What if you stopped trying to convince others that your vision was valid? What if you just started showing up day in and day out and putting in the work? What if you let your actions speak louder than your words? Every time you spend time arguing with someone who doesn't believe in your dream, you're wasting precious energy. Every second you spend justifying yourself is a second you could be using to move closer to your goal. Action is the answer. And when you start to move forward, when you start building and creating and executing, the doubters will be left in the dust. They'll have nothing to say because the results will speak for themselves. The cost of defending yourself. Think about this for a moment. Every time you find yourself defending your dream, you're not just wasting time, you're giving away your power. You're allowing others to take the focus away from what really matters, your work. The more energy you pour into explaining your vision to others, the less energy you have to pour into building your dream. Success doesn't come from arguing. Success comes from doing. It comes from relentless, focused effort. It comes from making decisions, taking action, and adapting when things don't go according to plan. Have you ever had a conversation where you were trying to convince someone of something you knew was true, but no matter what you said, they didn't get it? They didn't understand your vision? And no matter how many facts, reasons, or explanations you provided, they just couldn't see it? It's exhausting, right? But here's the thing, it's not about them seeing your vision, it's about you making it happen. It's not about convincing others that your dream is valid. It's about validating your own dream with action. It's about showing the world what you can do. The more you focus on building, the less energy you'll waste defending yourself. And the more progress you make, the harder it will be for anyone to deny the validity of your vision. The real power is in consistency. One of the most powerful lessons you can learn from people like Jack Ma is the power of consistency. While others were questioning his ideas, Jack Ma kept building. He didn't allow distractions or doubts to pull him off course. He didn't stop. And as a result, he became one of the most successful entrepreneurs of our time. This is the true secret of success. It's not about defending your dream. It's about taking consistent action day after day and building something so undeniable that no one can ignore it. The more consistent you are, the more powerful your actions become. And the more you build, the more you grow. So here's my challenge to you. Stop arguing with the doubters. Stop defending your vision. Stop wasting your time trying to convince others to believe in you. Instead, focus on building, focus on executing, focus on making progress step by step. Every time someone tells you that your dream is impossible, don't react, don't argue, don't explain, just keep moving forward. Because the more you move, the more momentum you gain, and the more momentum you have, the more undeniable your success becomes. Let your results speak for you. At the end of the day, results are the most powerful weapon you have. They speak louder than any words you could ever say. Results have a way of silencing doubters and critics. They don't need an explanation. They don't need defending. Results stand on their own. So let's make this clear. Your success is not dependent on whether someone believes in you. Your success is dependent on your ability to keep moving, no matter how many people doubt you. Your success is determined by how much effort, focus, and consistency you put into building your dream. And when you start to win, when you start to see the fruits of your labor, the world will take notice. And the best part, you won't have to say a word. The doubters, they'll have nothing to say, because when you prove your vision with your actions, their words won't matter anymore. The power of silence and action. So here's your call to action. Stop arguing, stop defending, start doing. Focus on execution, focus on building, focus on results. Because when you do that, the world will have no choice but to acknowledge you. And in the end, you won't have to say a word. Your success will do the talking for you. So stop waiting for approval. Stop looking for validation. Start winning. How small thinking keeps you small. Let's start with a simple yet powerful question. Why do some people believe success is limited? It's a question that holds the keys to unlocking your potential. Think about it. How many times have you heard someone say, "There's not enough to go around," or "If they win, I lose"? This line of thinking traps so many people in a cycle of fear, self-doubt, and missed opportunities. It's a trap, and unfortunately, it's one that many people have unknowingly locked themselves into. Society, upbringing, past failures, they all play a role in shaping the way we think. We're taught that success is a limited resource, that if someone else makes it, there's less chance for you. But what if I told you that this belief is the root of the problem? The truth is, success is not finite. Opportunities aren't limited to a select few. Wealth, happiness, success. These aren't pieces of a pie that gets smaller the more people take a slice. No. They're an infinite resource available to anyone willing to expand their thinking. Let me tell you something. The idea that success is limited is one of the biggest lies we've been sold. You've been conditioned to think small, to think there's only so much success to go around, but I'm here to tell you that it's time to break free from that. It's time to embrace the truth that success isn't a pie with a finite number of slices. It's an infinite universe of possibilities waiting for those brave enough to think bigger and act bolder. Scarcity thinking breeds fear and limitation. Let's dig deeper. Scarcity thinking, this idea that there's only so much success to go around, breeds fear, and fear, my friend, breeds inaction. How? Early exposure to doubt creates mental roadblocks. Doubt is a silent killer. It creeps in slowly, quietly, and before you know it, it has made a home in your mind. It plants seeds of uncertainty that can quickly grow into towering roadblocks, blocking your path to success. When you expose your dreams to doubt too early, you're inviting mental roadblocks into your life. You're giving others permission to plant seeds of fear and hesitation in your mind. Think about it. Have you ever had an idea that felt so powerful, so possible, only for someone to tell you that's never going to work, or that's too big, you can't do it? Suddenly, that once strong idea begins to lose its power. Your confidence starts to falter. The dream you once believed in starts to feel impossible. Let me be blunt with you. Those early moments of doubt can make or break your vision. They can either fuel your drive or destroy your momentum. This is why you must protect your dream from negativity at all costs. You must guard your mind from external doubt, because the moment that seed is planted, it will grow. You can't afford to let that happen. The truth is, most people who doubt your dreams are doing so out of their own fears. They're not trying to crush your vision. They're projecting their own limitations onto you. But here's the thing, you don't have to accept their doubts as truth. Your dreams are not bound by their limitations. Your vision is unique to you. Don't let others' fear trap you in a cage of self-doubt. Keep your dream close, protect it from the outside world, and let it grow in the silence of your confidence. The psychological need for validation and why it's dangerous. There's a deeply ingrained psychological need within all of us to seek validation. We want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be acknowledged. But here's the harsh truth. Seeking validation can hold you back from achieving everything you're capable of. The moment you rely on someone else's approval to move forward, you lose your power. You give control of your life to others. Think about how many times you've hesitated because you were waiting for someone to give you permission, waiting for the right time, waiting for the perfect moment. But that moment never comes. The world doesn't stop to give you a stamp of approval before you take action. In fact, most people won't even understand your vision until they see the results. So why are you waiting for them? Why are you letting the opinions of others decide your fate? It's time to break free from the trap of validation. The truth is, you don't need anyone's permission to pursue your dreams. The only validation you need is from yourself. If you believe in your vision, if you have the courage to take the first step, then you're already on your way. You don't need anyone's applause. You don't need their approval. What you need is self-belief. You need the courage to trust yourself, to take risks, and to move forward even when the world doubts you. Your belief is the fuel that will propel you forward. Don't let the need for external validation stop you from living the life you were meant to live, the silent war on your dreams. The battlefield isn't always on the outside. You expect the challenges to come from the world, the criticism of your ideas, the doubters, the haters, and the external pressures of societal expectations. But what if I told you the real battle, the war that's truly threatening your dreams, is happening somewhere much closer to home? You see, the biggest battles are fought in your own living room, at your own dinner table, in your closest relationships. These aren't wars fought with fists or weapons. They are fought with words, silent words, hidden words. Words that sound like concern, but beneath them they carry the poison of doubt. They come from the people you love most, the ones who are supposed to support your dreams, not undermine them. It's easy to brace yourself for the loud, harsh voices of strangers. You've prepared for the mockery from the outside world, the "you can't do it" messages, the people telling you that your dreams are unrealistic. You think you know where the enemy lies. You think you can spot the danger, but here's the truth. It's not the loud voices that will destroy your vision. It's the quiet ones, the ones closest to you, the ones who say, I just don't want you to get hurt. And these whispers, they're dangerous. They can cripple you without you even realizing it. At first, they might sound harmless. They may even seem caring. But the truth is, they're a threat to everything you've ever wanted to achieve. The people who are supposed to be your biggest supporters, the ones you trust the most, the ones who raised you or who've known you your whole life, are often the ones who unintentionally throw the biggest hurdles in your path. They may not do it on purpose, but their fear can be suffocating. They might say, "Are you sure about this?" Or maybe you should have a backup plan. It sounds like concern, but let me tell you something, it's doubt disguised as care. But why is this such a big issue? Because doubt, especially when it comes from someone you love, lands differently. If a stranger tells you that'll never work, you can shake it off. But when someone close to you says, "You're not being realistic," it cuts deep. It makes you question everything. It plants a seed of uncertainty. And that seed, over time, starts to grow. And what's even more dangerous, often the person planting that seed has no idea they're doing it. They're not trying to destroy your dreams. They're not being malicious. They are simply projecting their own fears, their own limitations onto you. They are trying to protect you, but in doing so, they're inadvertently holding you back. Take a step back and ask yourself, are they protecting you? Or are they projecting their own fears onto you? Are they worried about your success because they fear the discomfort of watching you thrive while they stay stuck in their own lives? Because that's exactly what it is. People who have given up on their dreams are often the ones who try to stop you from chasing yours. And it's not because they hate you, it's because watching you chase your dream is a reminder to them of what they never dared to do. Your pursuit of greatness makes their life of comfort and safety feel less fulfilling. But here's the thing, you don't need to hate them. You don't need to cut them off, but you need to be aware of how their doubt can affect you. You must learn how to protect your mind, your vision, and your belief in yourself from the poison of their fears. Now, listen closely. This isn't about severing ties or holding grudges, but it is about strengthening your belief in yourself, especially when others can't see it, because if you let their fears become your fears, their doubts become your doubts, you'll find yourself stuck in the same place they are. And trust me, that's not the life you want to live. You've got one life, one shot. Don't let anyone, even those who love you, hold you back from living your dreams. Strengthen your belief in yourself, even when the people closest to you can't see what you see. You know who else faced relentless doubt? Elon Musk. When he said he would make humanity a multi-planetary species, people laughed at him. His parents probably thought he was crazy, but he didn't listen. He kept pushing, and look at him now. He changed the future. Steve Jobs, when he said he would revolutionize technology, he was laughed out of many rooms, but he did it anyway. History is full of people who were told their dreams were impossible, and yet they made them real. You want to know what all these people have in common? They didn't let the doubt of others stop them. They didn't let the fear of the people closest to them shake their resolve. And that's what you need to do too. Let me challenge you today. Be so dedicated to your dream that the doubt of others becomes nothing more than background noise. When they tell you it's impossible, you tell them, "Watch me." When they roll their eyes or say, "That's not realistic," you respond, "I'll show you." When your own mind tries to convince you to quit, you say, "Not today." You're not a loser. You wouldn't be here if you were. So stop listening to the voices that try to tell you it's not possible. Stop letting their doubt decide your future. Your dreams are worth fighting for, even if it means standing alone in the beginning. Can you stand alone? Don't tell everyone your dreams. Abundance Mindset by Jack Ma. The silent power of keeping your dreams close. Let me tell you something powerful. Your dreams are not just thoughts or passing wishes. They are the deepest, most sacred desires of your heart, and they deserve your full protection. It's easy to share them with everyone around us, but that doesn't always serve our best interests. We live in a world where people talk about their ideas, their opinions, and often about things they don't understand. The moment you start vocalizing your dreams to the wrong people, you're opening yourself up to vulnerability. Let's take a moment to think about how powerful silence can be. Think about the quiet before a storm. It's in that stillness that everything is preparing for the surge of energy that's about to come. Your dreams are no different. In the early stages, they need to be nurtured in the quiet of your own mind, your own heart. You have to protect them fiercely, not because you lack belief in them, but because they are delicate and deserve the opportunity to grow uninterrupted. The world will throw distractions your way, and if you're not careful, you'll end up wasting your energy defending your ideas instead of building them. The moment you open your mouth too soon, you risk the seeds of your vision being trampled on by others' doubt, fear, or negativity. There's power in keeping your dreams close. Silence strengthens vision, and when you keep that vision safe and secure, it allows you the space to figure out how to bring it to life. The more people you share it with, the more opinions you'll get, most of which will only serve to confuse you. If you're constantly hearing it's too hard, it's impossible, or that's not how it's done, you're sowing seeds of doubt that can prevent your dreams from growing. Imagine this, you have a dream. It's raw, it's pure, and it's just beginning to take shape. But the moment you tell the wrong person, they tell you it's unrealistic, it's too ambitious, or even worse, they completely disregard it. It's like cutting the plant down before it has the chance to take root. The wrong words can create a ripple effect of self-doubt that stunts your progress. Don't give others that power over your vision. Let your actions, not your words, be the proof. Let your journey speak louder than any opinion ever could. Why? Your dreams are sacred and should be treated as such. We live in a world full of opinions. We live in a world where people think they have the right to tell you what you can or can't do. But I need you to realize something deep down. Your dreams are sacred and they need to be treated as such. You cannot share your dreams with just anyone and expect them to understand. Why? Because your dreams are not for everyone. They were given to you and only you can see them for what they truly are. Think about it. When you have a dream, it's like a secret treasure that you must protect until it's strong enough to stand on its own. When you open up to the wrong people, their disbelief becomes a threat to your dream. Their limited mindset can infect you, and before you know it, your belief in your vision starts to fade. Let me tell you something. If they could see your dream the way you do, they would be chasing their own fears and limitations. They will never understand what you see, and that's okay. Your dream is a unique, beautiful vision that's yours alone. It doesn't belong to anyone else. When you share it too soon with others, you risk diluting it with their skepticism, their lack of belief, or their narrow perspective. They can't see what you see. They can't feel what you feel. They haven't lived through what you've lived through. They have no right to define your journey. Your dreams are not just ideas. They are sacred commitments you make to yourself. So treat them with reverence, guard them fiercely, protect them until they have the strength to grow on their own. You wouldn't leave your most prized possessions lying around for anyone to grab. Your dreams deserve the same level of care. You owe it to yourself to protect them until they are strong enough to shine on their own. The hidden power of secrecy, why silence strengthens vision. There's an ancient wisdom in silence that most people overlook. When you think of secrecy, you might think of something sneaky or hidden. But in reality, secrecy can be one of the greatest tools you possess. The most successful people in the world, those who truly accomplish great things, often do so in silence. They don't go around shouting about their plans or broadcasting every little step they take. Instead, they stay focused, working quietly behind the scenes. The hidden power of secrecy lies in its ability to shield your vision from negative energy. The more you share, the more you open yourself up to external opinions that may not align with your goals. And here's the thing. Most of these opinions come from people who have never walked the path you're about to take. They haven't experienced what you will experience, so why let their limited perspective contaminate your vision? Silence strengthens your vision because it creates the space for deep focus. It removes the clutter, the noise, and the external distractions that could prevent you from moving forward. You are protecting your dream from interference. You are keeping it safe in a world full of distractions. Silence allows you to work uninterrupted. It gives you the chance to be completely immersed in your vision without worrying about what others think. Take a moment to reflect on this. In the beginning stages, your dream is fragile. It needs time to grow, to evolve, and to develop into something unshakable. Silence allows you to nurture it in peace, free from the distractions and doubts that others might impose. When the time is right, you will share your success. Not because you need approval, but because the results speak for themselves.